Okay, got it.
Thank you everyone for joining us today here at Levittown Public Library. Today is June 13th, approximately 11 a.m. We're here with Kimberly for posture alignment. Go ahead, Kim.
That was a great introduction. Thank you. Welcome. Thanks, Hitomi. Thank you, Levittown Library. Okay. Where do you guys want to start out today? What do you guys, where else? Okay, static back. Static back it is, 5 minutes, everybody. For those of you that are on video with me, oops, I hit the wrong button on my, darn it. Oh, good. Now I'm changing my time. It's 10, it's 11. There we go. Hit the wrong button. Okay, let's do this again. Okay, so I'm just setting the timer for everybody to get in static back, and I'm going to show you guys what static back looks like. Intro for this today, if there's anybody that's new on the video, we're going to do sequences of corrective exercise. So if something doesn't feel right to you, don't do it. I'll give you as many modifications as I can think of. But if something does not feel right, it's up to you to figure out what's good in your body. And if you get the signals that don't feel the right way, and feel like the pain, the red signals of bad, 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 stop. I'll give you as many modifications as I can. But for now, we're all coming into static back. We're going to lay down on the floor and you put your legs up on top of a chair. Anybody out there who can't get on the floor, which I know is few and far between, you can sit in a chair like so. But what I'd like is that your feet are flat on the floor if you are unable to get on the floor and you're sitting in your chair. Otherwise, you're on the floor, a nice flat floor and a nice square chair. Everybody looking good out there. Guys, where do your arms go when you do static back? Ooh, I'm hearing it. 45. 4 or 5. So you want your arms to be out at a 45-degree angle from your hips and palms up if you can do it. Some of you guys out there, and I've been with you in person, you can't do 45 degrees because the shoulders are so pitched forward, and I'm going to pitch my shoulders forward so you can see. If you pitch your shoulders up towards the ceiling, your palms want to flip over in the other direction. So the radius and the ulna want to take that inward rotation and flip. If that's happening to you, more than likely your head is also pointed behind you and it's going to start to get really tense in your neck. If that's you, put a little pillow underneath your neck underneath your head. That's going to hold your head in a more neutral position and it's going to take the strain off of your neck. And it's okay to keep your palms down if that's the way they do it at rest. But eventually, as the change happens in your shoulders, the arms are going to want to rest with the palms up. There's a Band-Aid to that too. So if you're experiencing what I just described, you can bring your arms out wider so that they're almost to a T position. And then you might find it a little more relaxing and the palms might go up for you as well. Just going to take a walk around so everybody can smell that I didn't put on deodorant today. Doing this online and with you guys in person really splits me. I had to describe all that stuff that's not pertinent to you guys, but might be pertinent to the imaginary people that I have in my mind that might be listening. You can see where this is going. It's, yeah. Right. I make up all these situations in my head, these what ifs. So since you guys picked static back as your first, does anybody have any preference to our second and third exercise? What's been helpful for you? Reverse presses. Yeah, me too. So we got reverse presses. I'm watching somebody wiggle their feet around. Maybe they want ankle circles, point flexes. Maybe. Maybe. This is a perfect position for the reverse presses. Does anybody also like reverse presses? Yeah? Yeah. What do reverse presses do? I love Marie. She's always answering. I don't want to hear from Marie right now. I want to hear from somebody else. What are we doing when we do those reverse press moves? That's when our elbows are in the floor and our arms are in that goalpost position. And we squeeze our shoulder blades together over and over while we lay in static back. What are we doing with that? I love that some of you guys are actually trying it out so that you can. Exactly. 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 So that whenever I ask the question, what the heck are we doing? I'm trying to inspire in you guys to figure out what your body is telling you so you can figure out, does this help me or doesn't it? So use all the layman's terms that you want. When I say, what the heck is this thing doing? Of course, you have to go into it and try it and go, what is this doing? What do I feel? Perfect. Nope, we're going to do it right now, though. So get into the reverse press position. And I am going to show you guys the other modifications for that reverse press. You can do this sitting in a chair with your back maybe against the wall or against the back of the chair. I'm going to show you bird's eye, well, almost bird's eye view. For the viewers at home, arms go into that goalpost position, gentle fists, or just let your hands kind of rest there. Squeeze your shoulder blades together over and over. You're going to use your elbows as a bit of an assist, just a little assist, but we're not pushing the elbows into the floor to lift the mid back. That's a no-no. It's a light squeeze over and over and over again. The harder you go, and we did this last week, I had you guys squeeze as hard as you could. The harder you go, the more your mid back, your rectus spinae, all those muscles down your back are going to kick on and then lift your back. And we don't want that. You want to feel it right between the shoulder blades. Now I'm going to walk around. I'm going to double check with you guys where you feel it. So as you do those little squeezes, does anybody feel it in their neck? No? I'm going to come right behind you. Okay, Pat?
One likes to do it and then the other.
Do you feel it up here?
Tiniest bit.
Tiniest bit? Because that's what I'm feeling with my fingers. Your traps are kicking on. Bring your elbows closer to your body. More, 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 like a 45 degree. Now try it. I'm still feeling them kick on. How much effort are you giving?
50%.
Okay. Dial it back to maybe 30% and take your arms into the 45 degree position like static back. Bring them closer to your body. A little bit right there. Now squeeze. Feel different?
Yeah.
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 What I was feeling for was for these to be relaxed.
Oh, okay.
So if all of that work is taking place here, it's not taking place on your back right here. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
So for you, at least for now, until these muscles can wake up and actually until these muscles can slow down and not do the work for your rhomboids, stay here.
Okay.
You're welcome. See, Marie does that too. And I do that too. You guys are good back here? May I?
Yes.
How much effort are you giving? 50, 20, okay. Right. You can change the position of your elbows, bring them closer to your body and check that out and see if you feel it more. In fact, everybody do that. Bring your elbows closer to your body and continue with your reverse presses and see if you feel it more isolated right between your shoulder blades. If the answer is yes, then more than likely, the wider you come out from your armpits, the more compensation you're going to hit. So I'm asking everybody to come closer to the body here while they do the reverse presses. So if you feel it more isolated, even give it a shot coming to the static back 45 degree position. I'm going to stay here for 30 seconds more. All we're doing is reverse presses, everybody. Even though it's so hot today and I'm wearing less and less and less clothing because I'm so uncomfortable, we are going to do stronger work today. So I am leaving time for those stronger portions. I'm going to throw it out to you guys. One more exercise you get to pick, even if you guys want, oh, you want that one? Okay, we already got it. Pullovers, go into them. Hands straight up towards the sky. Keep on going till I tell you to stop. I'm going to demonstrate for TV land out there, my favorites. Over the years, I hate saying that, but that's how long it's been. Over the years, I've watched some of you come and go, and I miss seeing you guys. There was a nice lady, Lisa. She had this beautiful art on her back wall. She also had some shoulder issues. Lisa, if you're out there, I miss you. Get in touch. If you're watching these videos later because maybe things have changed in your life. Would she knock over the, oh, yeah. Nice. She's knocking out chairs, punching, good. Screw that chair. So we're doing pullovers here now. Elbows stay nice and straight. Check yourselves. Elbows must stay straight. Like I was telling you guys earlier with one of my clients that is still flitting around, hanging around. She loves to cheat on these. And she keeps telling me, no, my elbows are straight. And she can't even feel the difference. When her arms go behind her, over her head, out of sight, out of mind, she bends her elbows and hits the floor. So really keep your elbows straight. When you bring your hands over your chest, lock them out. Focus on keeping them locked out. Go slow if you have to, and then go backwards. Beating the place up. Great, everybody. This one's pretty simple. Pretty simple. That's a toughie, but we haven't done it in a while. I'm just going through some of the older workouts. Everybody remember the feel good workout where I had you get up and down off the floor without using your hands? Anybody remember that? It was a sequence that was pretty tough. I think we're going to touch on that today. I think we're also going to do some seated work. So guys, if you feel all right, we're done with the pullovers. I'm going to have you get up into your chair. And we're going to do some seated stuff. We haven't done that in a while because I've been so stuck on addressing you guys and then addressing the TV and back and forth and back and forth. I'm getting less done. So grab your strap, bring it with you. Grab your block, bring it with you. Okay, just keep it nearby, bring it with you. I am going to put the block in between my knees for this move because, like I said, out of sight, out of mind. When you twist your body, you have that tendency to, oh, I want to do the best that I can. And what happens if you're stuck in compensation? Your pelvis is going to twist. So the block is going to help keep you honest. Let's just say it keeps you honest. So we're going to sit in extension, pelvic extension. Everybody remember what that is? Okay. Pelvic extension is the opposite of slump. So we start with the posterior pelvis, but just from the pelvis, I want the pelvis to tip forward into the anterior tilt. I'm going to ask you, watch me. Is this me tipping my pelvis forward into an anterior tilt? How come? Right. But are there people that do that? Yeah, certainly. People whose pelvises are stuck, or they can't recruit that. They think, oh, okay, I'm putting an arch in my back. Sure I am. But some people, that's the best we could do. So do it just from your pelvis if you can. Put a little arch into your lower back. It already sits your shoulders straight, but without using your back to do it. Up here should be really relaxed. So we're going to sit like that. Legs are at 90 degrees. We're going to do a twist of the thoracic, any direction you want. I don't care. So I'm keeping the pelvis in place. I'm just twisting my upper body to one side. I'm not using my arms to pull me. I'm twisting, I'm holding. Now here's a great, oh, I'm getting a cramp. Awesome. So right, here's a great way to see, am I doing this right? So when I square up to the front of the camera, I catch a lot of people leaning over rather than staying along that axis and twisting along that axis. How do you know if you're leaning or twisting? You can check to see, am I sitting more heavily into one butt cheek than the other? You can feel that, and you'll tell if your body is kind of leaning or twisting. So I'm just going to stay here for another 20 seconds, and we're just hanging out here. Still there. Legs look good. Everybody's still in place. This block really helps, doesn't it? It helps you feel that, okay, my knees haven't moved. And if your knees don't move, we know your hips haven't moved. 10 more seconds. Knees are the windows into your hips. Gosh, you guys look good out there. And we're going to do the other side now. So reset your sitting in extension. That's what I do all the time, because guaranteed one-sided moves kind of throw you off. Sit in extension, twist. Good. And I just caught myself doing it. As I twist to this one side, I lean heavy into this side. So I balance it out. I know I started to lean laterally. So I make sure that I'm here. Everybody's got a scoliotic curve to some degree. Mine curves to the right. This is a tough move because we can't trap everything in the body. When you're sitting in a chair, it's a good way to trap anybody's pelvis if one side's doing something different, like a hip elevation. I can give people sitting moves and that'll correct hip elevations. But any upper body problem, it's probably going to be able to squirm out and get thrown off. But it's not a bad thing to be able to do this move. 9 more seconds, even if you're doing it quote unquote wrong. Because any other exercise that we throw in is going to help unwind the body in different ways. I hate this term, but it's the journey. It's not the destination. I only hate it because everybody says it now. Come on out. We're going to do sitting overhead extension. Keep the block right there because that's going to keep you honest. We're sitting in extension again from the pelvis, and turn to the side because you guys are going to want to see this. I'm going to sit in extension, and mine now looks ugly because of my left shoulder. Overhead extension is through the arms. So you're going to keep your elbows nice and locked and listen to your shoulders. I hate that I can't go any higher. It's frustrating. That's all I got. So I'm not going to keep doing it by going, oh yeah, now I'm in overhead extension. Nope. Still want to keep the shoulders right over the hips, right where you started. So we're going to sit here for 1 minute and just give me what you got. This is all Kim has for today. So this is what we got. Can you feel that there's this tendency to want to feel how you guys kind of want to do that? Are you okay? Well, well, you know what? Yeah, sure. Go ahead and do it. Any movement is going to be fine. Any movement is fine. But I'm watching some of you out there. You're like this, like that. You're twisted. One side's doing something different than the other. It's not going to kill you to do it. I'd love it to be even. And that's what we're trying to do, is get the body to be even. But hell, if you do it and it looks crooked, it's not going to kill you. Stay in it. 10 more seconds. Come on. Okay, come out, everybody. I'm just bringing my strap nearby because the gears are working. We're going to do, let's do seated knee pillow squeezes, and then we'll work with the strap. We're going to sit in pelvic extension again. I love to just slouch first, just so I can check myself. Am I being honest with myself? Roll the pelvis into extension. You should feel that right from the groin. Pelvic extension. And then squeeze your block over and over. It's just knee pillow squeezes. Shoulders should be really relaxed here. When I started doing this, of course, I was like, but I know you guys are not. You understand pelvic extension. Good, Pat? Cool. Good. Carol, everybody? Tom? Does it make any difference whether we're this way or this way? That's a good question. So I had the question, does it make any difference if you're this way or this way? I'm going to use the E word. My Egoscue block at home, it is as wide as this is on its narrowest side. It's 6 inches. This thing, I believe it's 4 inches. In a perfect world, we want to trap the knees in line with the hips and create work there. I've had plenty of people do it this way. Even when I went to Egoscue in California, they have all of these blocks there and people use that. It's okay. I want you guys to listen to your body. Over the years, I've started doing this. I'm like, ooh, that feels different. It's a different kind of work. It felt better to my body. So that's why I started turning it this way. You can feel it out and check it out yourselves. And you've got one of those blocks that's even thinner than the one that I have. So there's that option to you to turn it or not, and just check it out, see how it feels. What do you guys think about that? Yeah, they're a little more internal. And I want you to keep watching, Tom, that yes, that left foot, you did it again, and then you corrected it. So it loves to come in. So that either that knee loves to go external. I forgot what you have going on, but this foot loves to come in. So keep an eye on that. Make sure that that foot stays in line. Good. We're going to switch the block for our strap. And we're going to do seated heel raises. I didn't read the new pain-free book. My client said it sucked, and I believe her because all I did was roll through the index and the back, and I couldn't find some of the stuff that I'm looking for. I'm like, why is that not even here? Like frozen shoulder wasn't back there, but they did have herniated disc in the index. Like, I didn't get it, but it's in the other book. So all I did was I flipped through the new pain-free book and I took pictures of every routine, and now it's sitting on my phone. But this is part of the routine for foot problems. So you're going to take your strap and you're going to put it around your legs. I forget, I'm on TV land too. So if anybody doesn't know what the heck we're doing, I have to describe it. And you're going to keep constant pressure on that strap, not hard pressure, but I don't want that strap to go slack. Just enough to hold the knees in place while we do this work. So it should be hip distance, hip distance. Everybody looks good there. Legs are at 90 degrees at your knees. Sit in extension of the pelvis. Put a little pressure on the strap, lift the heels and lower. Oh, it's in? Okay, good. I was just going to save some time. Carol, that looks a little narrow. Is that holding for you or is it slipping? Is that why you're holding the tail? It's not holding? Okay, use this one. There you go, my dear. Yes, and lifting the heels. Where's the teeth on this? Yeah, I see. Okay. So how this one works, it doesn't have teeth over here, but it does have teeth here. Oh. So I'm going to go over this one. The teeth are supposed to grab hold of this and hold it in place. But when this is like that, it pushes this piece against the teeth. Is this making sense? Mm-hmm. So that's what's actually going to hold it that way. So okay. I don't know how you had it before. Maybe it was upside down, but that's how this one looks like. It's designed to work. Okay. You got it. Okay, back to this exercise now. When we do this exercise, what am I always saying about the broken glass? Right? Some of you are smiling. I want your toes to be light, which means don't use your calf for this exercise. When you think about keeping light pressure on your toes, it forces the work to go to the hips. That's really what we're going for in this exercise. We're going for hip activation. In a perfect world, hip activation would look like this. You should be able to pick your legs up. See, I'm not using my calves to do that. So we do have to lean back a little bit, right? It's like, welcome to muscles that don't work. It's one of the biggest muscles in our body. That hip flexor should be able to pull our knee to our chest, but it doesn't. So we're using this exercise as a little bit of a Band-Aid. So our toes do stay on the floor, but the action we're going for really is this. That's what we're going for, but we're keeping the toes on the floor. So we're using the calves just a little bit. The only way I can cue you out of using your calves is pretend that your feet are on broken glass. And that way you're like, and it forces you to lean back a little and use it here. Does everybody feel that? When you do that, you feel, okay, it's making its way up here. That's what you want. And this is sitting heel raises with strap. Can you do sitting heel raises with a block? Trick question. Of course you can. Of course you can. You would be. You would be. It would make a difference in the exercise, absolutely. In fact, when we're done with this, I'm going to have you guys do it with the block so you can feel. The reason why we often do knee pillow squeezes is it's a way to get a hold of the hip flexor. The hip flexor is what pulls your, or is supposed to pull your knee towards your chest. It's supposed to flex your hip. It's supposed to do this. For most of us, it's kind of shut down to a degree. So all the tissues in here are compensating for that. That's why my quadriceps look like animals and my butt looks flabby. So I'm right there with everybody else. So when you come to an internal rotation and a squeeze, it actually does turn that hip flexor on. So when we're laying down in static back or doing knee pillow squeezes, we're turning on the hip flexor, and you guys can feel that. I'll come close to the camera here. If you stick your fingers and you grab your bones right here, your pelvis, right where that's sticking out, where that bony protrusion is, and you kind of dig yourself in and then relax a little. Now do that exercise, you'll feel that muscle reveal itself. This is a long muscle. It connects right from in here in your crotch. Everybody getting this? It goes right in from your crotch, right in here, in the inside area of the femur, up through the pelvis, into the pelvis, out the pelvis, and to your lower back here, which is why when you pick your legs up, you feel your pelvis do that. Does everybody feel that? Because we're trying to access that muscle. It connects here, here, and everywhere in between through. The iliopsoas, that's what we're looking for. Now put your block between your knees. So as we push out on the strap, I'm trying to also recruit some other muscles like the glutes, the gluteus medius, and just holding the knees in a certain position to access that. It's not bad, it's not good, it just is. It's just another type of stimulation. Now do this. Does everybody feel it in a different way, maybe a little bit more isolated? So as we ask the femurs to come into a different direction, you're going to start turning on muscles in a different way. So when I see somebody who is internally rotated with their knees, I might give them this exercise first that you're doing, seated knee pillow squeezes with the heel lifts. And then when I'm pretty sure that both sides are working evenly, I'll give them the strap, and then we'll start working, because they've already got knees that love to do this. So now I'm addressing it via position, going, okay, if we can teach the knees to come out while they're flexing, when they finally stand up, we'll be looking at a different posture. Everybody following? I know I'm talking so freaking much, I'm sorry. So somebody like me whose left knee loves to go internal. I just caught somebody who got a cramp. I get it on my left side, right? That's the secondary hip flexor helping right there. It's right here, right where your pocket would be. So that's a tensor fascia latte that just kicked on for her. That's her secondary hip flexor. And this might be for her, like, I felt nothing. Now all of a sudden this one kicks on. The iliopsoas is finally going to kick on if you keep doing this. And that's what I'd be going for. So only her one side kicked on. Everybody good? Let's get back down to the floor. Down on the floor, frog position. I hope you guys can feel that difference between you and the TV land. You guys can feel that difference between what we did with the heel raises with the strap and then what we did with the heel raises with the block. And I hope that can give you at least some insight into, okay, what is my body like? What does my body need? And hopefully now this is what my body will be doing over the next week as I do my exercises and I pick my routine. I'm going to hang out here for 2 minutes. And I brought my roll because I know my pelvis loves to go flat nowadays. So this is just a noodle from a pool. I don't recommend it for everybody because this is a really harsh roll. It doesn't have a lot of give, but some of my clients love this underneath their lower back when we do some of our work. So my pelvis, about a minute and a half, everybody. My pelvis is going towards posterior tilt, and I don't want it to. I want it to stay neutral. So these exercises with the roll underneath my lower back is going to help me keep it tilted. I'm going to come walk around everybody and just double check what's going on with your femurs. Because I remember some of you guys had hip issues where one was tighter than the other. And this is where it definitely shows its head. So one knee will be closer to the ceiling than the other. And that's not something you need to do anything about because these exercises are supposed to help adjust that. You okay? Okay. We're all getting cramps today. Tom, me, Pat, we're all getting cramps. It's just going down the line. I'd also like to get in some side unders, maybe even some front unders today. 30 more seconds, everybody. We're laying in frog. Can you do frog sitting in a chair? Yes, you can. You can do frog sitting in a chair. You might need 2 chairs to put your feet up on top of. Totally cool. Well, I'm just going to come over here for a second. When you said you had a cramp, I would also expect a little bit of shaking too, and here they come. So, okay, okay. Does it feel like you're fatigued? Okay. Gotcha. The place where I found the most intense shaking and had to ask the question, what the heck was going on, was before I found Agostia when I was with this other screwy, horrid company. And I stayed in a position for so long, I wasn't tired, my legs started shaking uncontrollably. And that's when, well, we all realized that this is the repatterning of the nervous system. So all of this shaking begins to happen because the nervous system is kind of not necessarily getting overwhelmed, but it's going, something's changing here. We've got to figure out a different way to access this and remember this pattern. And the body starts to shake. You guys can come out of this. In fact, I'm going to give you a couple of more exercises on the floor, and then we're going to hit it a little hard. Let's do upper spinal floor twist, get you into a nice twist again. And then I'll keep talking to you about nervous system, repatterning, and so on and so forth. So you're going to lay on your left side. This is the floor version of the sitting floor twist that we did before with the pillow between the knees. But this one's going to add a little bit more leverage. It might hurt the shoulders. So if it does, I'll give you modifications. So I'm laying on my left side. Knees are stacked, holding my knees in place like glue. Top arm is going to open like a book. Remember, you want to keep the wrist, the elbow, and the shoulder in line with your opposite shoulder that's laying on the floor. Palm turns up. Some of you might be stuck here. I was for a while with my left arm. Eventually, you want to hit the floor, but don't you dare hit the floor by cheating. I don't want your legs to come undone. They must stay in place. So this is a twist for your body. You want to put a block underneath your head there, Tom? I could bring you one, or that's another modification. It's a hold. It's a twist and a hold. So we're not opening and closing. It's twist and a hold. So some people who can't put their head in line with their eyesight in line with their arm yet, you might put a block underneath your head. That might help. Until you can finally turn up towards the ceiling and maybe even let your head rest on the floor while you're turned towards the ceiling. Eventually, you'll look towards the hand, but don't force it. Don't you dare force that. So back to repatterning the nervous system. None of you were with me in Synergy, but in Synergy, the one in Syosset, they had a whole bunch of Bosu balls, those half balls things that you could stand on, and it throws off your balance because it's an unstable surface. Well, some of the routines that I learned had you doing that work with your eyes closed. And that's what we did. At the end, everyone would request, Kim, can we turn the lights down and put on soothing music? And everybody would stand on the Bosu. And these are people in their 70s. No big deal. Eyes closed, standing on the Bosu. You're not doing a darn thing. But because you're taking out this input of sight, which helps you become aware of the world around you, you're taking that away. Your nervous system reacts. Switch. And everybody starts doing this. The bounces start. And you could see it right away because you're on a bouncy Bosu ball. So that shaking is your nervous system trying to figure out, what do we do? How do we sense this? Forgot to give you a modification for this. So if you do have a hard time opening up your arm on the floor, you can rest your hand on your butt, on your boob, on your ribs. I was resting my arm on a stack of pillows when I was rehabbing my shoulder, still am. You can rest it on something, or you can skip the move and do that sitting twist that we did in the chair earlier. So that was the long answer to the question of why the heck are my legs shaking? We're changing the body. And so the nervous system is repatterning. Yeah. Eventually you'll be looking straight up without the block, but I'm not gonna, yes. So I gave her that because she was kind of holding her head up. So that's, yeah, straight up. And then you'll start turning towards your hand when you're ready. You'll only be ready when your neck tells you, hey, this is cool. But that's how I do it. That's how I do it. Few more breaths over here, everybody. Should feel like a nice stretch. Should definitely be feeling it in the pec. Should definitely be feeling it in your, maybe even in your back. So we're talking pec right here. We're getting a nice stretch in this area. That's what we're looking for. And that block that I had underneath your heads was just for those of you that feel like, oh man, my neck hurts. Your head really should be on the floor. I don't want it to be easy for you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on out. Let's do cats and dogs. If you don't like cats and dogs on hands and knees, do some pelvic tilts. Cats and dogs looks like this. Hands and knees. Knees are hip distance. A lot of you go wrong here because some of you have a stance that looks like this. So your knees are in front of your hips. So it's right in line with your belly button. Some of you start your cats and dogs here, which is why when you do your static extension and I ask you to move forward, now it looks like this. Whoa, ah, my back hurts. It's uncomfortable. Listen to your body because you're probably out. When I had nobody looking at me, I would kind of do hands and knees and just kind of let my knee kind of drop, and it would usually be like a plumb line and tell me right where my hip was. That was all I had, but I found it helpful. Cats and dogs, back and forth. Many of us are stuck in the upper thoracic. So I want the shoulders to move here. It's initiated from your pelvis. Yes. So pelvis goes anterior, posterior, anterior, posterior. But that chain reaction should go up your spine, into your shoulders, and your head should be the last thing to move. Think of the reverse presses we did on the floor earlier. Everybody remember that? So as you look up, it should feel like a reverse press. Your shoulder blades should come together with elbows straight. It's a tough thing to get done. Good. Very nice. Very nice, everybody. And me walking around shouldn't be like, oh my God, I'm doing it wrong. I just like feeling everybody up. Relax, everybody. Relax. Okay. We are going to do the feel good routine, getting up and down without your hands, all that good stuff. It starts laying down on the ground. We're going to do, what does he call them? Who cares what he calls them? Snow angels. That's what they look like. So pretend I'm laying on the floor. We're going to do something that looks like a jumping jack. Of course, I'm not going to be walking my feet out. I'm going to be sliding them on the ground. But I'm doing this to demonstrate what I'm doing. But also, my feet are pointed straight up to the ceiling when I'm doing this. Don't let your feet come out to the side. So I want to keep the feet parallel, which is going to turn on, I'm sorry, Pat, it's going to turn on that muscle that you had a cramp in earlier. So we're going to do 20 of those. They're looking like snow angels because, well, that's basically what we're doing. Open and close. Everything touching the floor if you can. Open and close. If your shoulder doesn't want to go that whole way, well, don't. Try to make it look as even as you can. So my left shoulder doesn't want to go all the way up, so then my right shoulder won't go all the way up. Otherwise, in this move, if my one shoulder doesn't want to go, and I keep that one in place and make the other one go, I'm starting to twist my body. And then it turns into more of a unilateral move than a bilateral move. All the way overhead if you can manage it. It's like a big jumping jack. Perfect. Beautiful, Pat. Beautiful. All the way overhead if you can manage it. If you can't touch your fingertips overhead, get as close as you can. All the way up and all the way back. Palms up if you can manage it, but if you like wiping the floor with your hands, good. That's cool too. I'll make you lick your palms later. Very nice, everyone. It's so good to be back. Arm leg opposites are next. If you don't like going on your hands and knees, you can do arm leg opposites laying on the floor like a cross crawl. It looks like this. So it's right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg. Pretend I'm laying on the floor, those of you in TV land. Everybody else who's okay on hands and knees, arm leg opposites look like this. So we're gonna load the body. Right arm comes forward, left leg goes back. If you don't have that balance yet, you can keep your toes on the floor and just work on it. Otherwise, that leg should be up. So it's a lot of butt, glute, back, everything. But from the front, if you see, I'm keeping everything in line. Everything in line, back and forth. One side, other side. One side, other side. In cross crawl, pull your knee towards your chest. So I want you to bend the knee. Bend the knee, Marie. Bend it, pull it in like that. Yeah, that'll, yeah, do it that way. That's the way, my lady. That's the way. Good, everybody looking good. Good, Carol. I get so excited. Can you tell this is my only class left? Good job. Does everybody feel that work when you got the one knee on the ground? That hip has got to do its work in order to balance and load and hold you in place. So many people can't do this. They fall over. Don't get there. Don't be that person. Okay, fun part. 10 of them. You get up and you get down without using your hands. If you have to use your hands, it's okay. That's all right. You know, and I had an argument with my boyfriend. He says, I'm so stubborn. I'm so inflexible. You better come back to my classes, honey. I let them tell me what to do. I take orders all day at work from stupid guys. So feel goods. You lay down. You get up. I don't care how you do it. One leg's going to want to come in front. The other one's going to want to come in front, but we're going to do both sides. You got 5 on each side. If you're really good, you can cross your ankles and just stand straight up. And you can throw your weight, whatever it is, you come up. So notice when I did it, I put my right leg forward first. Next time I do it, I'm going to put my left leg forward first. Get up off the floor, lay down and get up. Just notice as you're doing it, what happens to your body. The only way she ever gets up is to roll over. Good, Lauren, I see you there. Keep on working, looking good. Get up, get up. Okay, so she leans on her left elbow. She got up, good. She's crossing right leg in front of left. Throw your weight into it, lean over to one side. I don't care, try and get up. Okay, so you put your left hand down and you get up. Now, do it the mirror opposite next time. So she used the hand, no big deal. You're using a hand, okay, cool. Notice which hand and which elbow you love to lean on. The next time you do it the complete opposite. So when you get up, left leg goes in front, right hand will go down. Right hand down, left leg in front, left leg in front, your other leg. Get down, don't you dare get up. Left leg in front, left leg. Yes, the way that feels uncomfortable. Get up that way. With the right hand down and the left leg up, give it a shot. There you go. Felt uncomfortable, right? Now get back down and do it the comfortable way. Good. Lauren's, you're kicking ass over there. Lauren's getting up and down, cross-legged. She's doing it the Swedish way. Swedish way. I only say that because they did a study in Sweden. I don't remember when. People that can do that are able to age well and continue moving in their 70s, 80s, so on and so forth. So I put my right leg forward. Next time I get up, I'm going to put, did I put my left leg forward? I don't remember. Oh yeah, that's the, You got 5 on each side. We're almost there. One more time each side, except for you. You owe me 8 more. She's busy laughing. Good. So that's right leg in front, left arm helping you. Next time, left leg in front, right arm helping you.
I think the funniest thing is getting from laying down to sitting.
It is. It is.
So what leg goes in front?
I like it. Look at how she's doing it up. I love that. So she's getting herself to the kneeling position. I used to do that too. In fact, I'm going to do that. Give that a shot. Give that a shot. That's why I love being in class with everybody, because you get to see, oh, what are you doing? Oh, I like that. That's new. And then you learn something. Thank you. So she came over to the side, got on her knees, and then did it. Okay, give that a shot. So get up, knees, give it a shot. One more time each side, everybody. Rolling over. But of course I didn't want you to do that, because that's easy. It's what you usually do. We're here to stimulate the body with what you don't usually do. Nice, Carol. Roll over on one side. Get those legs in front of you. Do the mermaid. It's all right. The best part about this is that we're laughing. That's it. That's it. Perfect. When do we laugh like this? Kids are laughing like this multiple times throughout the day. As adults, we might do it once a week. Bad. So good. We're gonna do front. Are you waving it? Oh, she's not, she's wiping the screen. Sorry, Lori. We're gonna do side unders because we have time for that. Okay, side unders is, if everybody remembers, there's a line. It's your limbo line, right? We're thinking of something imaginary for you guys out there. So we got this limbo line. We're gonna take it from the side and we're gonna go under it. You get to see my butt, everybody in crazy TV land. So we're going under, back and forth underneath this line. You break it down. It's a nice even squat. You're gonna load up your left side or your right side, whichever one we start on. That hip is now doing work. I extend the other leg. Notice what I didn't do. I didn't shift my weight yet. Load the leg, extend the leg, then shift the weight. Now this side's loaded. Replace the leg, stand up. I don't care how low you go. It doesn't matter. We're gonna do it timed. Let's do a couple minutes of this. Couple minutes. So we break it down, extend the leg, shift your weight, replace the leg, stand up. Feel that difference in load, right? That's what we're going for. It's why I segment it. Try to keep your feet parallel when you do it. It's also going to turn on that hip flexor and make it cramp. I'm just holding my hands like this because I don't know what else to do with them. I don't care where you put them. Really segment it. We want a lot of this flexion to come from the hip rather than your spine. So a lot of people who are doing this, they tend to go, oh, that's all I got. The rest of it comes from here. And they're doing something that looks like this. Excuse me. Try to stay as upright as you can while you're doing it. So this flexion starts to come from your hip. 45 seconds. We want to retrain your hip, how to flex and how to come in and out of it. I know you feel muscles working. Should be a little hamstring and mostly glute, but I know a lot of us, if you're also like me, it's a lot of quad because the glutes are shut down to a degree. But this will help turn them on. 15 seconds. time. Give me 2 exercises we can end with. Right? Got the heart rate up. Got the heart rate up. 2 exercises you'd like to end with. Lauren's doing windmill. All right, I'll take that. Hitomi, I will not smear the wall, I promise. I promise. Heels on the wall. You guys in regular land out there in front of me, you might not be able to use a wall, but I know they don't want this wall smeared. Do it like I do in the middle of the floor, or I'll turn this. Don't watch. There you go. We're not smearing any wall, Hitomi. There is plenty of wall. Right. So I have this turned to the side so you guys can watch me do it in the middle of nowhere. Legs are nice underneath your hips. Arms are out. Lean back and forth. Keep your butt in place. Feet point straight ahead. Always. Heels on wall if you can get it. If you don't have a wall like me and like some of the people here, beautiful. That lip is stopping you, but yeah, good. Next position, feet are open wider, right? About 2 feet. Feet still stay parallel, right, folks? Back and forth. We are doing lateral flexion of the spine here. So there is no rotation. This is lateral flexion. Great. Everybody's shoulders, they're not moving. They stay in place. Some of you with shoulder issues, including me, might sometimes put your hands on your hips. Cool. Our next position is feet open super wide. Stay in control though. Nice. Good. Back and forth. Oh, you feel it? Right? Oh, yeah. Super wide. Your right foot is pointed 45 degrees. Ha! Gotcha. Good. Beautiful. Beautiful. Watch. Oh, she's hiding her feet behind the block. We're totally out of 45 degrees. Last position is our first position. Right under the hips. Last set. Back and forth. I think we're going to do a free squat to finish us out, and then we'll be done. Because free squat is pretty easy. It's just a squat in the middle of nowhere. Feet are hip distance. I'd like the upper body to the shoulder blades to be back and down. So sometimes I do this to make it harder. If it's really tough, I'll put my hands on my shoulders and do that. But you want to think about the S curve in the spine. So the pelvis does stay in extension when you're doing the squat. 1 minute, that's it. That block to your right, put it between your knees, because this is you.
Okay. So this way?
Yes. Right toes, bring them in. Good, I know that feels weird.
Feet issues.
You have feet issues because you have hip issues. Let me mirror you.
So
Yeah, that's what's happening to you.
the pelvis is
Out. So for you, because your body is compensating, just do it natural. Because your body's compensating, I'd stick you in an air bench. You see that, Carol? Come on over and take a look at your buddy here. We're all gonna look. Do you mind just staying there for a second? So guys, come out of free squat. See what I see. 20 more seconds for you guys out there. Oh, good, Lauren's doing arm circles. You see what I see? Right? You see?
So how do I correct it?
I don't think we can in this move. I don't think we can. Is it going to kill her to stay like that? No, but she's clearly got a hip elevation to some degree. Do you see how her body is doing that? That's why it's all in looking at the posture and what it's doing while you're doing exercises, while you're standing there. So that's telling us what's going on and what's not going on. So for you, I would probably do an air bench, because that'll probably look a little bit better and trap her, even though I know air bench still kind of looks a little funky. Lower back in the wall, feet come out way further, and arms rest at your sides. Everybody else, we've run out of time, so I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to stay here with everybody. If you're feeling good, please come down to the library and see me in person. Everybody's loving it here. What, you hate it? Oh, okay, sorry.